Hi, I'm Doug Motel, and this is episode 2 of Art Spirit Sunday. I wanted to talk to you today about something that has been really important to me. I've been learning a lot about this from my teacher, Aulii. It's the Hawaiian concept of mana, spiritual energy. Spiritual energy being something that fills you up, and can put you into that connection to the strength, your strength. I'm sure you know what it's like to have a moment where you feel like, wow, I'm feeling really good. I'm connected to my Aloha spirit. I'm feeling that I'm coming from the best, that's within me. I'm really in my power. And the idea behind mana, and what my teacher Alihi has been helping me with, is to make my mana list, which is to make a list of people, places, and things that you have noticed give you that kind of little extra edge, or can fill up your tank if you're feeling like your spiritual energy is low. So, it's people, as we know, there's some people that when we're feeling low, it's just not good for us to be around them. When we're feeling strong, or we feel like we have a lot of, spiritual energy, yeah, we can deal with them. We can even love them and be entertained by them. But there are some people that it's probably best that we not be around. And objects, that's, particular, like a vase or something that reminds you of someone. And as creative people, I'll talk a little bit about how we actually play a role in helping to provide things for people that can give them some, mana, some spiritual energy. So people and places and things. There are places. For instance, I live in New York State, in a pretty rural area, but there's a little spot by this creek that reminds me of a Kahana Bay on the windward side of Oahu. And it gives me just this great feeling. And so I've made it a point, since Alihi, encouraged me to make my list. It's one of the things on my list. So I make a point of, whenever I have to go to a certain city, I make a point of driving past there and just sort of soaking up that mana, that spiritual energy. And it's really interesting how you can, almost like a conductor, you can conduct energy, as opposed to just sort of like going along the day and hoping for the best. You can actually take an active role in building up your energy. It's a very creative exercise, and you have to start from where you're at too. I've noticed that, if you're feeling like your tank is pretty low, you have to be careful not to, try and force or fake, or, have, very high expectations, or bringing your spiritual energy up, having that be just like one more thing that you have to do, or you have to get it right, or, you know, um, another way to, shame yourself. But really starting where you're at. And I mean, personally, I like to play a little game where I give it a numerical value, and I say, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would I feel connected to my mana in this moment? And if it's a 5, then it's a 5, so be it. If it's a 4, it's a 4. If it's an 8, it's an 8. I just honor that, and I just sit with wherever it's at. And I say, okay, how could I get it from a 4 to a 5? What are the people, places, and things that have a tendency to, is there someone who I know, when I get them on the phone, I'm just going to feel a little bit more energy rising up? And it can be a very creative thing. And for those of you who are artists or creative people, knowing that what you do is actually, it's really about putting things out in the world that bring spiritual energy, that lift the mana of the people who may, buy your art, or see your art, or hear your music, or see your plays. That is a really sort of like a win-win, when you realize that, oh, I'm using my mana to spread it out into the world, to help lift the spiritual energy of people who receive the gifts that I've been given. So hopefully that will give you a little bit of food for thought, and you will also consider making your little mana list and thinking of the people, the places, and things that have a tendency to lift you up. And thank you so much for listening.